When you are using your virtual machine on the Google Cloud with Docker and Dropbox, one or two things you should do each time to keep your environment tidy and working. So I'm just going to show you what I think it should look like each time you start your machine and start a session. First of all, of course, you're going to start your machine because you stopped it last time. So there we are. I'm going to wait for it to start and then I'm going to click on SSH. Now, once we're in, we need to do a few things each time. The first one I would recommend is that you give your Dropbox directory the right permissions, just in case somehow they've dropped off or there's some files in there where you don't have the right permissions. So we are going to give every subdirectory in there full permissions. I'm tempted to go 755 over there. Let's do it. Hopefully that will work for everybody. We've got the right permissions. Now if we look at whether the container is running, sudo docker container ls, you'll find the container is not running when you start your machine up. It shouldn't be. We need to start it. So sudo docker start mln, that will start your container. The other thing we need to check is whether or not your Dropbox daemon is running in the background. So sudo python 3 dropbox.py. I guess we could try a status. It isn't running. That's not surprising, so we're just going to start it. And that's it. You can see at the bottom it says done, and you are ready now to use your browser to go into your Python notebook and do whatever you need to do. When you are done, I would recommend that once again, to make sure that any files you've created have the necessary rights to be synced to your Dropbox on the cloud, that you submit this command again. It doesn't do any harm to actually stop the Dropbox yourself rather than your machine just kind of turning it off when it doesn't exist anymore. Your Dropbox isn't responding. Interesting. The other thing I would turn off is the container. I'm not sure why it said Dropbox isn't responding. I guess we'll see as we go through the lectures today if that causes any problems. It certainly does seem to turn itself off when we switch the machine off, and you have to turn it back on when you switch the machine on. That's it. If you followed through this far, you've done really well. You now have a fully working environment on the Google Cloud in a virtual machine with access to loads of other APIs besides the one we're using. But certainly what we've done so far should be enough to see you much of the way through this course.